Oh, hey, thanks for cleaning up everything, by the way. Didn't get a chance to thank you.
No problem.
Appreciate it. No. I didn't even... Never mind.
My pleasure. No, it's good. Just...
My pleasure. You're live, but are we actually live? Can you remember last time when we weren't live? Yeah. I think it was over here.
Let's try again.
Are we actually live?
Are we live?
Are we actually
live? We're live.
We're live. Okay. Welcome to our review of Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 3, The Long Night, with the Night King.
I'm going to real quick go around and post
some
this.
Links. I've been drinking very heavily.
It's been great.
This is my 4th glass of wine, because I brought 2 bottles. So I think I finished 1 bottle, at least.
Yeah. Sorry, this is bright as fuck.
It is bright, but it's all good, because I want them to be able to see my beautiful hair, my haircut, and my beautiful face, and my disappointment.
So I want to talk, I think we've had this running gag of starting the episode with talking about the last episode.
Yes, I think that's a good way to do it, is you start talking about the last episode and how it compares to this episode.
Which is basically that...
We liked the last episode.
Yeah, you did a quick album.
We liked it a lot because the last episode was focused on character development because it was written by Brian Cogman. And we got scenes where characters were thinking about their fates. We got scenes where characters were interacting, and we got scenes where characters were like just doing their shit, and it was really good. And we didn't really have a whole lot to complain about in the last episode besides like basic shit like I don't know, like we complained about a little bit with Daenerys because she's a pretty terrible character. This episode she was fine, but it's more because she couldn't give arrogant looks. She was kind of just like fighting for her life. And in this episode, that is absolutely good. That is really good.
Alright, everyone. I'm done. It's the Night King. Okay. Alright, yeah. So last episode was an episode that me and Josiah actually really enjoyed.
I think it's honestly one of the best the show has ever done.
I will agree.
You know?
It's funny because like I was talking to people after like I watched it and discussing like, hey, like that last episode I thought was actually really good.
Yes.
Because, you know, me, I hate Game of Thrones guy. And
that's my job.
And so to have an episode that was like really engaging and interesting and awesome was here. Let's get a little closer here. So
okay, let me get a little closer.
A little closer. So having an episode for me that was good in a show that I thought was pretty bad for a few years now was great.
Sure.
And have people kind of go, yeah, that episode was boring as fuck. I didn't like it at all. It was stupid and contrived and like really dumb.
There was no action.
It was boring. There was no action. I'm like,
I think we watched the show for different reasons.
I feel like, so here's my thing, is that like I'm okay with people enjoying Game of Thrones for being a dumb high fantasy, because that's what it is now. But how did you get through the first 4 seasons?
Well, I mean,
like,
more so the first season.
Yeah.
More so the first season. If the first season was really like, this is just character development and not much else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
How did you get past that?
I don't know.
I want to know.
But the thing is that my thing with this episode.
Yeah. So the long night.
The long night was kind of just sound and fury and a few moments that I liked, but not really much to write home about.
Here, we'll save you some time. I didn't like it.
I didn't like it.
And which is weird because I've seen a lot of people talk about this episode because
they've been comparing. Dude, do you know how many fucking tweets I've seen of, Avengers Endgame and the Battle of Winterfell are gonna wreck me this weekend. Like, I shouldn't have watched Avengers Endgame right before the Battle of Winterfell. Or, oh shit, the Battle of Winterfell just made like my already fragile heart from the end. Dude, Avengers Endgame was a fucking great film.
Yeah.
It was really good. This is not anywhere near that level.
No.
Not even close.
Even if you just compare the 2 like battle scenes. Not to go into Endgame spoiler territory we're not going to talk about.
But in the end of Endgame, I could tell what was going on.
I understood it. The characters were doing things and I got it.
But this is like fucking...
Bat shit. This is crazy.
It's bat shit. So like the first part of the episode, I don't really care what's going on because the Dothraki just get sent and then die.
Yeah, Dothraki are just taken care of easily, which is a really dumb battle plan that you send out like your cavalry first.
Even Benioff and Weiss were like, yeah, like they basically admitted like the Dothraki are just gotten rid of in this scene.
Yeah, and like this is the end of the Dothraki, and it's like, well, I mean, no, but
okay.
I guess for the show watcher who doesn't like want to think about things that are outside of, oh my god, Jon and Dany are kissing, and oh look, Arya's so cool. I guess yeah, the Dothraki are done. I really fucking hate people who just are so like, ugh, episode 2 was so boring. It was so dumb. I want more action. Just fight already. I don't care about the big political stuff or the motivations. Just fight each other. Well, listen, like so if anybody's been watching us for years now, or even a little while, knows that we have died down heavily on content and on uploads. That is, the main reason is because I'm working my ass off and becoming a writer and becoming an author. And I've done so much work and study and just like fucking like nose to the grindstone shit. And one of the things that you learned while learning how to write, like basic learning how to write, was to avoid the avalanche ending of, oh, I want to get to the really cool stuff at the end, and I'm just going to rush there and get there. And this is what this is, because this show is like a fucking highlight reel of what probably is going to take place over the course of like 2 or 3 books whenever they come out.
It's literally like, for real, this is like something that they... It feels like a fucking outline for what the books are.
Yeah, it's like, oh, and then... So, spoiler alert. Oh, yeah, so Jon and Dany are going to ride dragons around.
And they're just having a good time. It's really fun.
Arya's going to be the one that killed the Night King. Theon's going to have his redemption arc in the God's Woods.
But he just dies.
Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. And it feels like we're just hitting the check marks from actually having scenes.
Well, yeah.
Because the cool thing about the last episode was the last episode had so much talking that this episode felt like it could have no talking.
Right.
Like, there were very few moments of actual character. Like, Sandor has his through line of, I'm scared of fire.
There was the good scene of Theon and Bran.
Yes.
That was really good.
Because, again, we were screaming as we were watching it, but Alfie Allen is a good fucking actor.
He is a brilliant fucking actor. And Alfie Allen, you're never going to watch this, but if you ever do, you are a fucking legend, and you deserve to be in more shit.
You are the constant, like, light in the darkness.
And Beric Dondarrion is one of my favorite characters. His bit was great.
Beric Dondarrion's a character where I'm like, I'm glad you kept him alive for the show to do this with him. There's some characters that keep alive, and I'm like, why'd you bother? But Beric, I'm like, Beric's pure cool.
He really is.
And his actor is so great.
He's a really good actor.
Because he's giving a fuck.
Melisandre had a pretty good arc conceptually. I just don't like that they were like, oh, so she took off the ruby this time, and this time she just died.
Because if people don't remember, in earlier parts of the show, Melisandre took off her ruby and didn't go old.
Yeah, it's almost like the show's inconsistent and doesn't give a fuck about its own continuity.
Almost. But that can't be true. But that would be
silly.
That can't be true.
This is the greatest show of all time. Why would it possibly do something like that?
Everyone is sucking the dick of this episode. I'm here to slap the cock out of their mouth.
Absolutely. So, look, Lee, I'm going to talk directly.
Don't name drop people on this podcast.
Listen.
He's been a guest. He's been a nice person on our show.
Lee is a great person. But I will say it to you right now.
I'm not condoning this.
I will say it to you right now.
I'm over here.
Arya being a quote-unquote Mary Sue. She's not a Mary Sue, but she did get stabbed 5 times in the gut and lived. I'm just saying. Her killing the Night King doesn't make sense because although they cut out half the stuff about the prince that was promised and the Azor Ahai, they still kept half of it in. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense. If you look at Alt Swift X and Alt Shift X, but his Alt Swift X channel is his alternate, he does a great video where he shows all the times people mention the prince that was promised in Azor Ahai is going to bring light to the darkness. And he actually left out a few.
Because there's the one bit where...
And it's like, well, Arya kills the Night King.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
And if you watch the behind the scenes for the episode, Dan and Dave were like, about 3 years ago, we sat down and thought, all right, who's going to kill the Night King? And Arya was the best candidate. Meaning they didn't even think about, like, the prophecy setup, the plotline setup. No. And they even said, yeah, the obvious choice is Jon, but, like, that's too predictable. And it's like...
But it could have been Dany. It could have been
Dany, because they had that one scene on Dragonstone where they're like, well, the gender's not specific in Old Valyrian, so it could be the princess that was promised.
Correct.
And I was like, oh... You know what?
But Dany fires dragon fire, at the Night King, and he just kind of smirks and goes, that's not going to kill me. But Valyrian steel, in the same spot where the dragon glass was implanted, kills him. Because
dragon glass is from dragon fire.
Because metal that was made from dragon fire is stronger than actual dragon fire.
Because what about the dragon glass makes it be able to kill a white?
Because it was made from dragon fire.
Right, so therefore dragon fire can kill a white.
No, you're wrong.
Well, yes, but only sometimes.
Yes, only when the plot needs it to.
Right.
Because this is a great, consistent show.
The way I thought about it was, like, they didn't even think about, like, well, who could be Azor Ahai? Because there's so many theories online of people thinking, well, yeah, Jon's probably Azor Ahai.
Jorah, like, fucking...
There are a lot of candidates.
There's a lot of candidates. Daenerys, Jon, Jorah. Jorah could kill Daenerys and get the... I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things that could happen.
Yeah. But, like, Arya... So let's talk about Arya Stark.
Okay.
So I like Maisie Williams.
She's good.
I think she's great.
Yeah.
I think that Arya, as a character, is in this iteration currently is trash poopy garbage. They even talk about the way they talk about her in the behind the scenes is like she's unstoppable, she's unfazed, she's unbeatable, and I'm like,
well, that's boring.
That's boring, and so even they realized that how to set her back, but they made her that way in the first place.
They literally had a bit in the behind the scenes where like, well, we reduced her to Sansa Stark from Arya Stark from season 1, and then she's just unstoppable though. She kills the Night King because of course she does, and that's like, well, you admit that that's terrible writing then.
They admit to it. It's so weird.
Because they're Dan and Dave. They don't give a fuck.
Because like Arya, I don't like because like her training from the Faceless Men does not equal Ultimate Fighter badass.
No, she trained with stabs and washed bodies.
Remember, back before all of this happened. Think back to the good old days of like 2016, when you just had the books and the show was kind of being a bit weird. But there's the idea of like, oh man, it'd be so cool when Arya eventually goes off and like does secret missions for like, surviving characters,
sure,
using her Faceless Men techniques. And then she would be gone for like most of a book or a season, and then bam, she's there and she takes off a face and kills somebody. Like, but they've completely dropped the fact that she has a bag of faces, because I guess whatever. But
yeah, her being a Faceless Man doesn't really matter in the end. Just that she can kill people.
Yeah, because the Faceless Men didn't train her to be a good fighter, because you didn't have to be a good fighter when you literally posed as somebody else and got close to them and stabbed them in the back.
Yes, it doesn't make sense.
They trained her to be an assassin.
Not a fucking warrior.
Now, and like, granted, she didn't actually like fight the Night King.
No.
But she fights a fuck ton of other things and is pretty OP at it.
She cuts the head off of like 20 whites.
Yeah.
It's like...
The only thing more bullshit is Jon being surrounded by like 1 million fucking whites, and then...
It cuts, and then he's surrounded by significantly less whites.
Like 7.
Yeah, like it was really funny.
Which, back in season 1, Jon is surrounded by 7 whites would be enough to go, oh fuck, he's dead.
Because like 1 white almost killed him in season 1. You could say he got stronger, but 1 white almost killed someone in season 1.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, my sound was on my phone. I'd hate to interrupt this discussion about the best TV show of all time, Game of Thrones.
Because that's the thing, is that like they have this weird, because I hate saying in the books, because I feel like everybody who watches the show who gets all uppity about book people being all mad at the show or all like, oh, well, they're referencing the books and this is the show, so it's different. Listen, like, when you're adapting something, you can't help but talk about the original medium. I'm not sorry.
That is the fucking burden you take on. You don't want that burden? Make something original.
Yeah, do your own shit.
If you want to make an adaptation, you will be compared to the source material. That is your fucking lot in life. And
especially when it is written by the guy who is being hailed as the American Tolkien, the modern day Tolkien.
And the story's not over.
And it's not even... That's my problem with adaptations that are like done before the thing is done.
It's like Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Or like anything that kind of like starts and then... Or like Hellsing. They're like, oh, we're gonna like do the show and then just like do our own ending. And like, it'll be just as good. It's like,
I can't wait till like 20 years from now, when we remake A Song of Ice and Fire.
Animated.
Hopefully animated, for fuck's sake.
Let's get the Studio Mirror to do it.
For real. I had a thought process, though. I was going somewhere. Oh, yeah, in the books, like, So in the show, there's this whole weird thing where like Danny can never get burned by fire.
Yeah.
And then so like
in the books that's not the case.
And in the books it's not the case because it happens once where she's immune to the fire.
But she gets burned later.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
But like so, there's scenes in there's shots in this episode where Jon basically should be killed by the dragon fire.
Well, because we were watching
at least a good 3 times. We were like,
okay, so Viserion's fire, is it ice kind of fire or is it just really hot fire? And you said, well, blue fire is the hottest fire, and I'm like, well, that makes sense. So blue fire would be hotter, so he should just die. But he's a Targaryen, I guess, so Targaryens are immune to fire in the show universe. So that makes sense in the show universe, but like, he fights Viserion kind of not
There
really.
was a shot where like Jon was running into cover and the fire went like right behind him and didn't catch.
It almost like actually hit him. It hit him. There was a lot of weird edits in this episode where we like jump cut.
Yeah.
And like, look, I'm gonna say this right now. I didn't really like the Battle of the Bastards. I liked Hardhome much more. Yeah. But this guy directed Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards. Those were much better directed episodes than this. On the whole.
With much clearer goals and
on the whole, like they made more sense as like a battle. Whereas this was like a lot of like mist and snow, and I get that's like the point, but like
and night and darkness.
It was like a bunch of jump cuts and like shaky cam, and like I couldn't really understand what was going on for some of it.
Not at all.
Not at all. And like it was very weird. I didn't really understand. Like
well, just because the way it was edited was so bizarre.
Also, it was weird how Bran went into the Ravens, and there was a bit where he was just like warging for like a good 5 minutes straight, and it's like, but you're not using the Ravens anymore, are you?
Yeah, Bran used the Ravens to find the Night King, and then he did nothing else.
And he doesn't tell Dany and Jon where the Night King is. He just sees where he is, and then goes, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna keep warging for no reason."
Because I guess Bran had to be out of commission for some reason.
It's because he's too strong. It's because like. Oh, man.
I don't know. Oh, God, this is hurting me. This was just really bad. Like, it was poorly edited and poorly written, and, like, Arya is a fucking, like... She's not a Mary Sue, but what's...
She's not quite a Mary Sue, but she's definitely, is like, she's OP stupid bullshit.
She's loved so much by the writers that her character is therefore flawed because they try to make her do all these awesome things.
Yeah.
Where it makes no sense.
And the writers literally said, like, well, she's, like, so incredibly amazing that, like, of course she can kill the Night King. And it's like, well, but you made her that way.
Yeah.
Arbitrarily.
Again, like we said, like, she's basically should be just an assassin. And if she had, like, fucking, like, ninja assassin the Night King, I'd be way happier
Well, okay, so the way I thought this was going to go down is Jon would fight the Night King, and Arya would pull a Mary on the Witch King and stab him in the back of the knee. And then he would go down, and then Jon would cut his head off.
Yeah. Because
that would make sense. Like, she's an assassin.
Jon and the Night King never even crossed blades.
No! He just, like, they were doing the Rian Johnson, oh, I subverted your expectations, but it was really just, Jon just kind of got surrounded by whites, and then, Viserion kind of just blew fire around him so he couldn't go anywhere.
Also, the Night King had different makeup in this episode.
Did he?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
It was...
Are you absolutely
It was
sure?
more polished up and more deeper blues. I could tell.
I am drunk, so I am going to allow that. But the thing is, he actually kind of acted this episode, like the bit where I actually felt a little bit of something when he was about to kill Bran. I'm like, oh shit! This stuntman is actually acting. Like, I feel like he's actually gonna, like, he's taking his time to go, okay, I'm filling my goal, I'm gonna kill the memory of humanity, and then he just dies. But, like, there was a moment where I was like, oh shit, he's actually equaling, like, the guy who came before him as the Night King.
Finally, in this last scene.
Yeah, and then he did the smirk.
I hate the Night King.
What was the point of all this?
Like, literally... They talked about in the behind the scenes, like, oh, this is the ending of one of the biggest plot lines in the show, and I'm like, you mean the plot line? Like, you said that,
because them in their minds they're like, oh, the throne is the main thing. The White Walkers are a secondary.
It's the reason why a Game of Thrones is the name of just the first book and not all of the books.
It's because George, he sees the bigger picture, whereas they are like, oh, well, the throne's the main thing. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
About
the series is called A Song of Ice and Fire.
Ian Glenn, who plays Jorah, was like, I would love if the show just ended with the Night King sitting on the Iron Throne. But no, yeah, he said that, and they don't have the balls to do that. No way. They have to have it be like, oh, a human sitting on the Iron Throne, and like, it's so bad. It's not. They have no balls. Like, They go kill Lyanna. They kill Jorah.
Oh.
They kill... Who else do they kill? Dolores Ed. They kill... I think that's it. Who else? Melisandre, but
Beric Dondarrion.
But she volunteers. Beric Dondarrion. Theon. So like 6, 7 people, minor characters. Because they can't kill the main characters.
Yeah, I'd say out of all those, probably Theon's the biggest character.
Theon was really good.
And his death was good. I mean, like, it's not where I foresee the character ending up, but it was still a good death. And because Alfie Allen gave a fuck, and so did Bran for a moment.
You're a good man.
You're a good man. It was great. It was like Theon's character is all about like him fucking up hard and wanting to be validated, and then Bran gives him that finally, and he's able to die, and that's good. That they thought about that. I mean, it's not where I think that he's gonna go, but
no. Well, I mean, maybe he will, but like it's gonna mean more.
It's gonna be different.
These fucking people who say, no, Dan and Dave have the major plot points, so it will effectively be the same. Like, you don't know fucking shit. Like, they don't have Ariana. Like, there's all this shit they don't actually have that, like, it's not gonna... Like, even if it's the same...
They don't have John Connington.
Look, even if Arya kills the Night King, it's not gonna be the same shit.
No.
By no fucking... Like, by magnitude...
It's not gonna be those stupid fucking bullshit of her jumping through midair and, like...
Past the White Walkers.
Past the whites, by the way.
Yes.
Like, I guess one guy kind of does this.
It's weird.
But, like, like, they could have been done better if she, like, I don't know, like, she leapt through midair. Like, how did she get the momentum to jump? And they were just fucking surrounded.
Again, we don't know.
But,
like, this episode was just... There was, like, a few good scenes. Like, Arya in the library. That was great. A good scene. Beric Dondarrion sacrificing himself. That was a good scene.
An extension of the last scene.
Jon kind of running away from Viserion's dragonfire. That was a good scene.
Every moment with Theon, that was a good scene.
But like everything else, like Jaime, like nobody, like no, it's like who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Anyone, like all the minor characters could die. Major characters are not gonna die.
There was so much plot armor in this episode. Like Jon,
I felt nothing.
Jon should have died a couple dozen times.
I felt no tension from the whites.
For some reason, Tormund's still alive.
Even Hardhome. Even fucking Hardhome, I felt more tension from the whites.
Yeah.
And season 5 is what I call, like, when the show starts getting bad. But even Hardhome, I felt way more. I felt way more from the whites. I felt way more from the Night King. I felt way more from everything. In this episode, I didn't give a fuck for most of it.
Yeah, because the Night King should have been Hardhome, and that whole battle happens.
It's good.
It makes you kind of go, oh, fuck. The Night King has a plan. The Night King is, like, on the move. He's coming. Like, oh shit, we better watch out. This guy's the final villain.
Yes.
All the promotional material, everything about the show, like the Night King. Oh my god, the fucking Night King, guys. Death's coming, and he's done. After one actual big battle, past the wall, and he's already done. He got the fucking Winterfell. How many decades, eons, was the Night King planning his whatever thing? And he gets just the Winterfell?
Yeah, and Beric was alive just to save Arya so she could kill the Night King. I really don't see how that...
Yeah, that retroactive, like...
Okay, given what they did, since, look, they said 3 seasons ago they decided Arya would kill the Night King. That may have been the only thing they planned out. They plan season to season. They don't plan the show out long term. For what they did, okay. Beric's fate, on the whole... Okay, I will accept it.
I'm glad Beric gave up his life to save us Stark.
And Sandor. And Melisandre.
Yeah.
But Melisandre, she didn't come back with anything. She didn't come back with any other people.
Why?
She just was slightly better at magic.
She left so that
she could have a dramatic re-entry.
And she didn't get executed.
Yes.
That's about it.
It's so bad. Like, nothing... She didn't have an artifact. She didn't have other people. She just was slightly better at fire magic.
She didn't even have a new outfit. And that's what really makes me mad, because Cersei has a new outfit every, like, 2 episodes. But fucking Melisandre comes back and has nothing.
It was so bad, because it's like... I don't understand. Like, why did you send her away other than plot?
Yeah.
It wasn't, like, for a reason. Like, she didn't grab an artifact. She didn't get more people. She just kind of left and then came back and was like... Oh, I'm slightly better at fire magic. Oh, but you really could have done this, like, without leaving. Nobody would have questioned it.
Yeah, nobody
given the show's logic. I don't know.
You could have found some bullshit.
It was just kind of battle episode. Like, it was just people, like, fighting in, like, the Attack of the Clones, like, clone troopers shooting into the sand. Nothing was really, like, intense for me. The Lyanna Stark dying didn't really matter to me. Jorah dying kind of mattered. It didn't really... Tyrion and Sansa gonna, like, do a murder-suicide, like a suicide pact was kind of cool, but, like, they didn't have enough time talking together for me to care. Like, they didn't talk together before this point, really. Like, they had that one conversation, but it wasn't, like, a whole reunion thing.
Yeah.
And then Arya Stark kills the Night King, and it's like, oh, okay.
Sorry, I was reading an article where it was, like, the headline was, George R. R. Martin slams huge TV fail, and I clicked on the article, and it was about football.
Fuck. He means this whole thing.
He does. But listen, it's like, they get rid of the Dothraki early on because they don't want to deal with them. Then they start killing off the Unsullied because they don't want to deal with them anymore.
Yeah.
It's writing 101 to set up that there's two characters that you want to, like, because Grey Worm and Missandei are characters where you're like, all right, one of you's got to die.
But none of them did. I was surprised.
And one of the things that you do is you set up, like, a goal that they have past this that they want to get to. Because they're such small characters that have been kind of blown up to proportions that are not originally intended, which we'll talk about more in a minute.
Sure.
That you give them a goal, and then so that they have a thing that they're fighting for, then they die, not able to get that, and then Missandei gets to fulfill that after Grey Worm is dead, because then you get, like, okay, it was fulfilled, but, like, not in what we wanted it to be. So we set it up, we paid it off, but in a shocking way. But, like, that didn't happen, and I don't know why Grey Worm is still fucking alive. Why Grey Worm didn't die instead of Sir Barristan Selmy.
So
Barristan fucking Selmy, who defeated Rhaegar when he was like 12, by the way.
Shut the fuck up. That doesn't matter. Who cares? Barristan Selmy's just an old man. He's just gonna die.
He's the best fighter in the Seven Kingdoms.
So
in the world, actually.
We're gonna get Clegane Bowl.
We're gonna go right to that.
Yeah, we're gonna.
You don't want to talk about Lyanna Mormont?
No, fuck that. She just gets. It's an irony because she's a small person who kills a big person. Oh, that's great writing.
And again, it's showing that Dan and Dave are sucky writers because they literally in the behind the scenes say Lyanna Stark was a one-shot character in one scene. They liked the actress so much, and also probably the publicity that she got by being such a awesome, powerful female character.
Yeah.
That they just kept her along and had to give her a big send-off because they were like, well, we didn't plan to have her here, so I guess she'll just stab one in the eye. And, like, it just shows that, like, if story beats and character beats and plot things happen because you say the words, well, I like this actress a lot, or I like this actor a lot, or I like this set a lot, and are not based off, like, story, go home. Rethink your writing.
Well, and again, we see Cogman wrote the last episode, Dan and Dave wrote this episode, which makes a whole lot of sense.
In terms of quality?
Absolutely. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Also, Ghost was in the beginning of this episode, was in a lot of shots, which was really weird to me.
And then never showed up
again. And then after about, like, I think probably the 20-minute mark, he just disappeared.
Well, no, Ghost disappeared after the armies clashed.
Yeah.
Because he went with the Dothraki. And all of them died, but he didn't die.
Maybe. And Jorah didn't die.
Yeah, Jorah got back. But Ghost didn't come back. Just Jorah.
Why did Melisandre have to just touch one sword to light them all on fire?
I don't know. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. It wasn't even like, I don't get it. I don't fucking get it.
It would have been cool if she, like, washed her hands over them and as she moved.
I thought she was going to do a Theoden, like, run past and all the swords light on fire. But no, she just kind of went, High Valyrian. Oh, one sword went on fire. Now all of them.
And Azor Ahai rises.
But only the Dothraki, because everybody else had to get dragonglass weapons, I guess.
This episode was just
What was the point of Arya's staff weapon? Because she just cut off everyone's heads and it didn't kill the Night King. She just used it because it looked cool.
Yeah, like,
she could have just used all her other weapons.
They, like, had 2 episodes to set up her weapon, but it just sort of was like a weapon.
It didn't even do anything. It didn't kill the Night King.
It would have saved us a lot of time if Gendry was like, hey, I made this for you. It's a cool staff thing.
No, I'm afraid not.
But she had to, like, come to him with a design?
Yes, because
and then it didn't end up becoming the Night King.
No.
And well, yes, it was cool to have him
because
be killed.
Yes, the dagger that almost killed Bran kills the Night King to prevent him from killing Bran.
Man, Brian Cogman brought that dagger back.
That is ironic.
It's good. It's good.
That, I mean, if you're gonna kill the Night King, I guess like using the Valyrian steel dagger that almost killed Bran before he kills Bran is pretty clever. But it like literally she just has it, then drops it, and the Night King kind of goes, and then she catches it and then stabs him.
Which is bizarre because if you see how fast he was to parry Theon.
He literally like is beyond human comprehension because he just literally goes, oh, somehow like between frames you were stabbed with your own weapon.
Yeah.
It doesn't even like occur on screen. You were parried and dead. Like he's literally a Dark Souls player. But then when Arya does it, she can just beat him because she's Arya.
It's because Arya is amazing. And if you hate Arya, you hate women.
That is not true.
No, you're criticizing women though.
I don't think that's true.
Oh yeah, that one Winterfell person that looked at Missandei kind of bad. Racist.
Shut the fuck
Racist.
Up, stupid. The Night King kind of just like floated above Winterfell for 30 minutes.
I think our biggest criticism of him was that like he just looked like a dude that was just walking around.
No. Once he got down, look, so he got knocked off the dragon,
and he falls like this.
He just falls, and he doesn't call the dragon to him. He just leaves it up in the sky, and he just kind of walks around. He's kind of like, I'm the Night King.
Boy, he sure is lucky he didn't fall one of the dragon glass spikes that were all around Winterfell.
He kind of just walks around, and then Dany burns him. He's kind of like, I was like, that's one of the only emotions he's ever given.
Josiah, I want you to tell me your favorite Night King line. Go.
My favorite Night King line is the bit where he fucking looks at Jon, who killed the White Walker, and goes, that's my favorite line he ever did. That's my favorite line. Because he doesn't fucking speak! Because the thing is like, he meets Bran, and I was like, oh shit! Are we gonna get a scene where like the human actor of the Night King and Bran meet, and they're gonna be like, oh, well, this is why like I'm gonna destroy the memory of man, and like I'm really pissed at the Children of the Forest, but the Children of the Forest are dead.
Like it'd be cool if he walked up to Bran and then finally had some lines like Brandon Stark.
Yeah, that'd be if you said just one line, I'd be like, wow, you know what? I care a lot more now. But he's just look, I get it. He's a force of nature. He's supposed to represent death. Arya kills him because Gedda should train with him.
Would it be cooler if the Night King wanted him as like, Brandon Stark.
No.
You must die because now the night begins. And then Arya comes out and goes, no, now it ends.
He could have even said it like in the ice speech of the others and like it's subtitled. But no, that would have been like character development.
So,
what happened in this episode? Some people died. Viserion died. The Night King died.
There's that one shot where Jon was walking around and it was like Jacob's Ladder.
I forgot about that.
I didn't because every time a movie does a Jacob's Ladder shot, I pin it in my brain and I'm like,
whoever is the one viewer watching, thank you so much, and you should comment to ask a question if you watch Game of Thrones.
It's probably us watching ourselves on the little live thing.
I believe it.
But that'd be weird.
I don't know, but whatever it is, I don't care.
I don't care.
Nobody.
There was a second person for a little while.
Nobody tried to debate us because they know we're right.
They just don't care too.
But then why would they click on the video?
I don't know.
I'm saying that nobody can debate this is like a shoddy, over dramatic. People
are claiming this as being like the best episode of television ever.
And they're like, oh, this is the best battle. It's longer than Helm's Deep. I'm like, wow, well, Helm's Deep made me care a lot more about the characters.
Yeah, because like it had pacing.
And
it did the elves arriving thing at the beginning.
It did,
which was really bad.
We already talked about kind of what was good.
Yeah,
I don't know what else there is to say.
Was good?
What else is there? Varys said like 2 lines. He did nothing.
Varys did nothing, which was great because Varys is an underused character.
This is not good.
It's just not good.
This is not a good episode. I liked the last episode a lot. This episode, look, I gave this show a second chance. I was like, hey, this episode is really fucking good. Then I watched the episode, I'm like, oh, well, the night, like, Look, the frustrating thing is all the White Walkers and Night King shit doesn't fucking matter now.
Oh my god, I almost forgot, dude. The bit where Melisandre says, what do we say to the god of death to Arya?
Not today.
But, like, how does Melisandre know it's a thing that Arya knows?
Because she can read minds.
Can she?
They kind of established that.
I feel like they don't say a lot of things about what the power can do because
they don't like magic or prophecy.
Yeah, do you want to talk about that and how it contradicts everything?
No, I don't know, dude. Like, there's literally, like, there's so many mentions of the Prince's Promise. He will be reborn, rise from salt and smoke. He will defeat the night. He will rise from the dawn. And none of that. Arya just kills the Night King. Jon doesn't do it. But then you already cut half the prophecy and shit out. Why not take all of it out? Because it doesn't. Because of your decisions, it doesn't matter.
I do like, by the way, this shot of the Night King holding an umbrella for Bran.
Shut the fuck up.
That makes me really happy.
Oh, the actor.
Yeah.
That's actually really funny. That's really cool.
That's cute.
That's cute. That's the best thing to come out of this episode. The point is that nothing matters. All the build-up. All the fucking build-up that I've gone through for the Night King and the White Walkers. I'm not scared of them. I don't care. I really don't care that they're gone because there's now 3 more fucking episodes of the show dealing with Cersei. Because you've clearly established that that's all you care about is who sits on the throne. Not what are the thematic things about life and death and
oh yeah, by the way,
and peace and war and love and death and shit. And it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Because it doesn't matter because it just matters who sits on the Iron Throne.
That's not what the show's about.
You care about Game of Thrones. It's called Game of Thrones because you care about who sits on the throne. You don't care about the actual world building or the actual like way the seasons work or like why the universe exists the way it does because George cares about it. He cares about like actual character development. But you don't.
Yeah.
So that's why there's 3 more episodes and the Night King's just dead. The threat that has been building up for 7 seasons, boom. But then Cersei, yeah, she's been around for 7 seasons, but like that's what you care about. And that's garbage.
It is poopy garbage. So to show off more that Arya killing the Night King the way she did is improbable and how she ran past all the whites, didn't get seen, didn't get stopped, and had the distance. This is how it looks like in the behind the scenes of how she had to jump, how far she had to go.
It's
improbable.
I don't care if it's improbable. It's just that she leaps and the Night King catches her and rather than instantly freeze her to death, she just drops the knife and then he's like and she catches it in her right hand and stabs him. And according to Benioff and Weiss, it's the same spot where they use the dragon glass. So did it have to be the same spot? Why did dragon glass, which kills White Walkers, make the Night King? Why do all the White Walkers that he raised just fall under his will? Why are they all robots? Because I don't care. Because even though it's symbolic of death, none of the main characters die. It's just the side characters. So why do I give a shit about anything that happens?
Yeah, I related it to you as a really bad Doctor Who Cyberman plot.
It's a Cyberman plot. Like, who gives a fuck what happens?
Yeah.
Oh, we converted, like, these side characters. Oh, it's fine.
This episode would have been way better if the whole show was like this. If the whole show was high fantasy dumbness of, like, oh, this is just awesome and cool and great. But,
that's
like...
not what it was,
But it's not what it was.
That's not what it was. And, like... Yeah, on like the basic level, I'm sure this episode was very fucking satisfying. On the base
in
fucking
the sense
level,
of like, oh man, like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of shots that were cool. There was like 10 shots I would say are really fucking good, really fucking well executed, really good. And like, yeah, but was the whole episode like a fucking masterpiece? Get off your fucking...
Rowan did a good job.
Rowan Djwadi is a fucking great composer. Let me credit these people who did good this episode. Rowan Djwadi, Alfie Allen, Ian Glenn did pretty good. Barrick did really good. Melisandre, I'll even say, did really good.
Yeah.
Really good. The director did okay. Not anywhere near as good as Hard Home or Battle of the Bastards.
The direction was best in the library scene.
That was really good. That was like a Bloodborne scene.
Yeah. And they had that one shot of like Arya turns the corner and there's this one white and she stabs the white in the neck. But the white, it's shot in a way to make you think it's Arya getting stabbed.
Yeah.
And I was like,
But I know she's not.
And I'm like, you can't pull a fast one on me. There's no way Arya gets killed like that. Because now this is season like 3, I can maybe see that happening. But like, you've shown that like you don't want to kill people off in non-heroic ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I see past your lies. Are we almost done?
I don't know.
Do you feel satisfied?
Look, there's really nothing else to say, is there? Like, the episode was, like, not that complicated.
Choppily edited, I couldn't tell what was happening. It felt like...
The first, like, 30 minutes or so were really choppily edited.
Once it got, like, inside and more, like, down to the personal people...
It was better.
It was way better.
Yeah.
But, like...
Nothing reached the heights of episode 2, really. Aside from Theon.
Yeah.
That bit where Bran said, Theon, you're a good man. I was like...
Yeah, that was
Nobel
great.
Prize, Otto. Nobel Prize. We'll all be rich.
They will be.
And, like...
There's nothing but praise for this episode. I've not
again,
seen a...
Endgame, fucking great film. This, nothing near that. Don't even pretend it's emotionally anywhere near Endgame. It's not. It really isn't. It really isn't. Not at all. I don't have anything else to say. I said a lot in the live react. I said a lot here. Do you have anything else to say about this episode, The Long Night? What do you think? The next episode also looked bad. It was just like, Euron and like Cersei are really close, and like, they're going south, and they're like, hey, they said, the great battle is over, but the last battle has yet to be won.
Yeah.
It's like, I have 3 episodes of them fighting Cersei and Euron. I did not want this. I wanted like, maybe 2 max. Maybe 1. I'm not... I went completely from first episode's not very good, second episode's great, third episode, not good.
Seriously.
And fourth episode, I have no faith in it.
0.
They
really brought us up to like you were saying, and I was on your side with this, where you were like, if they pull off this next episode and keep it going, all sins are forgiven.
Well, it wasn't all sins are forgiven. It was, I can accept this season as a proper conclusion to the series I fell in love with for the first 4 seasons. Yeah. It was, I can put aside what happened seasons 5 through 7. I can accept this as being the end if it took to get here.
Yeah.
But they didn't pull it off. Because it's Dan and Dave writing it and not Brian Cogman.
I'm really excited for the last episode to be literally an hour and a half of just the Return of the King ending. Where the wrap
that's
up
what it is. It's just everybody's character arc getting wrapped up. And, you know, that's fine. But, like... The White Walkers were fucking...
It's going to be a mess. Because literally, now... Because you killed the Night King, and he's... See him, kill him, and they all fall. So since you've killed him, now there's no more zombie problem.
No, it's gone. It's totally gone.
So... Now all stuff is Cersei, and after the Night King, after that fucking bullshit.
Who cares after that? Like, oh, Cersei, yeah, she's a great threat.
Like, I remember when the season was announced, I was like, okay, we're gonna do it Cersei first, and then the Night King.
No, fuck you. That makes sense.
I know. I'm sorry.
Like that, like ending with who gets the Iron Throne is not as interesting as the Army of the Dead. But apparently to them, I mean, I guess I should have called it because they don't care about the Song of Ice and Fire. They care about the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's what the audience cares about.
It really shows the
disparity between the adaptations.
Thank you. I knew it was a D word.
The disparity between A Song of Ice and Fire and Game of Thrones is that in George's vision, it's not a certainty, but the priority of the Army of the Dead is the larger problem. But to Dane and Dave, they're like, oh, well, Cersei has the Iron Throne, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, the whole point. I mean, there's a lot of points, but one of the big points of the whole book,
sticking with the pointy end,
is that when she fucking said that, I was like, shut the fuck up, I hate you.
Stupid bitch.
Was that like everyone's like John's plot is like, we need to get our shit together and get to this Army of the Dead shit. And the whole irony is that everyone's too busy squabbling over their own shit.
Yes.
That they don't realize that slowly winter is coming.
Yeah, that's why.
Which is why, like, the books are really good.
What? That's not true. Feast for Crows and Dance with Dragons were garbage because they focused on things other than, like, excitement.
Sam doesn't go to Old Town decided to be a macer to find out that John's real parents are Lyanna and Rhaegar. He goes there because he's like, fuck, dude, like, zombies are coming, and that shit's fucking scary.
Yeah,
I gotta solve that goddamn shit now, like, stat. Well,
I'm tired, man.
I'm excited for the rest of the show because I want it to be fucking over.
I want it to die. I want it to, like, just end, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I can just wait for Winds of Winter to come, wait for Time of Wolves, wait for Doom of Spring, because, yes, it's going to be $3. I guarantee you. It's not going to be $2. It's going to be $3. But that's what I care about.
That's what I care about.
This show made me care for, like, one episode. But
it was a great episode.
I haven't truly cared since, like, season 5.5. Like, halfway through season 5, I haven't cared.
And honestly, I'm probably gonna give a shit during the last episode.
Sure, I mean, I will probably too. I'll be like, oh, like this is the end.
Yeah,
my only
I can't help it because
end.
I have literally been watching this show since the day it aired.
Of course.
So like, I can't help but like, you know, it's been since 2011. Like,
of course,
before fucking Pavel Hall started, for God's sake.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Like, I do feel something for these characters.
Yeah, I do too. I do too.
It's just sad that, like, you know, what's happened. The quality of the show is degraded, even though the budget's gone up, and it's so crazy to think of that. Like,
well, because that's the focus. They just care about making like this big show that's gonna like make people in bars like freak out, and they can do reaction videos.
It's event television.
It's event television. They don't care about the story. They care about like, oh, wasn't that badass when Lyanna Mormont charged the giant and stabbed him in the eye? That's what they care about. They don't care about, like, why it makes sense.
Yeah, because when they did do the episode where it was all character focused, they were like, ugh, give us the fighting.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Brian Cogman got his show canceled by HBO.
Yeah.
And,
that's
like,
the sad thing.
Why? Because he's the best
because it would have been
creative force in the show right now.
It would have been good.
But I don't have anything to say.
I'm pretty much done.
I'm done. There's nothing to say. It was exactly what I feared and expected, honestly. Like, I liked the last episode, but I feared that it would be, like, a simple, dumb kind of thing. So I don't have anything else to say. I just say, like, I don't think the next episodes could possibly be good. Clegane Bowl, I will love for virtue of its stupidity, like its awesomeness, but nothing else really has me in any way invested.
I'm excited to see what they try to do with Cersei's character.
3 fucking episodes left. 2 of them are an hour and
fact
20
that,
minutes.
So we are at the end of a Game of Thrones, and the Night King's been eliminated.
Yes.
And our main villains are Cersei and
Show
Euron.
And Show Euron, which is not good.
Which, if you had said that when Show Euron arrived,
if you had told me that, like, oh hey, the Night King's gonna die before Show Euron, I would have said you're full of shit.
Yeah, like you're on something.
I'd have been, you're on fucking meth. You're gacked.
You're fucking gacked.
But like, no, that is the reality I live in. Is that Show Euron is actually the final villain. That is fucking like, and yeah.
Do you think that Show Euron will die before Cersei?
That's hard to say. I think Cersei may be the final thing, and Jaime's gonna kill her. Because I don't think Tyrion. I think Jaime's gonna have to go. You know, we die together, kind of thing. Euron, Theon's gone, so Yara's gonna get the kill. Most likely. Which kind of like, for Jon and Daenerys, what the fuck do they get to do? There'll probably be some tragic thing where Daenerys dies.
I guess they have to now deal with the fact that one of them has to have the throne.
I think that's why
they just need to say, hey,
let's get married.
Let's get married.
But like, Dan and Dave don't know that marriage is like the main thing to unite people in the books. They don't get that. Like, that's the thing in the books where it's like obvious, but in the show they're like, oh, what could possibly resolve this conflict?
Man, they had to read the books to get this job.
They didn't. They read like the first 3 books, skimmed the 4th, read half the second.
What's weird is that, like, you could have easily like kept pretty good pace if you would like. So here's what you should have done. Got the end of season 4, been like, all right, we're catching up on the books. Okay, so let's now take a bit of time between each season, and we'll do, like, like 4 seasons for Feast and Dance, and you also do the sample chapters, and you pace that out well, and you could have gotten up with George.
No, I'm afraid not. People want to like leave and do other things because they're done with the show.
I'd be too.
All right. Well, I guess
Dario Naharis and Second Sons will join or not because Danny's out of army. See, I keep thinking that Dario is gonna like.
See, you might be right. Dario might. I'm hoping Dario shows up as like one of the members of the Golden Company and like swings them to Danny, and that's what makes them win.
Yeah, I've been hoping for that since they mentioned the Golden Company last season.
You know what's up, viewer. Who is this?
I'm so sad that you joined now as we're wrapping up.
Nikojin Mishra. What a good name. What a good viewer you are.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for commenting.
And
Thank you for engaging with this, because you can watch the rest of it as we come back. We were very negative, but I think it's for a reason. But I think Dario may join in, because not even they could like completely ignore Dario, even though Danny completely said, "I've only ever trusted Drogo and John." I was like, well, what about Dario?
Even though Drogo raped her.
Yeah.
But she trusted him not because he was Drogo, because he's Jason Momoa and everybody loves him.
Yes. You went to see Aquaman? That was a good movie.
Aquaman was a pretty good movie.
Any other closing thoughts on The Long Night?
It
wasn't that long.
It actually was pretty short because, you got the Winterfell. And then Winter fell.
Yeah.
They probably thought that was really funny.
They probably thought it was a good joke. just die.